Hey guys, it's Fred and Sheila. Just getting an update on the Felicia Gross
and Josh Gross.
This is on the Jayden Spicer.
Yes, and this
case.
is what do you call this? A preliminary hearing?
Well, yeah, this is just their arraignment.
Arraignment. Okay.
They going to plead not guilty, of course.
Right.
And, but let's just watch it and see. We'll thank Court TV right off the bat for their coverage. The next court date.
We're going to try to be there, guys, in person so we can watch and see what happens on this case.
Would you state your name for the record?
Felicia Gross.
Court calls the case of Commonwealth versus Felicia Gross, call 53. Ms. Gross, you're in the Breathitt Circuit Court for an arraignment, so I need to advise you that you have the following rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. You have the right to a trial by jury, where the Commonwealth has to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, the right to produce your own witnesses, and the right to appeal. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Gross, Breathitt County Grand Jury.
Your Honor, we were appointed at the district court level. I don't believe Ms. Gross's financial situation has changed since then. I would just ask for my office to be reappointed, and we would waive any formal reading of the indictment and enter a plea of not guilty.
So, formal arraignment waived, plea of not guilty, and I'll reappoint a DPA to represent Ms. Stevenson. I'll give a copy of the indictment to Ms. Denniston since she's here.
Thank you, Judge.
And you want to do a pretrial, Ms. King and Ms. Stevenson, on November 7th?
That suits us, Your Honor.
That works for me, Judge.
Okay, so we'll do a pretrial on November 7th
Okay.
at 10 a.m. And Ms. King, it's my understanding you have a motion.
They won't be a lot
I
happening.
have two motions. I provided a copy to Ms. Denniston this morning. The first one is for the school records of Jayden Spicer. The second one is for any medical records of any treating providers of Jayden Spicer. We find ourselves in an unorthodox position in that ordinarily we would have the next of kin sign releases to allow us to get those. Unfortunately, the next of kin is Jayden's mother, so who's the perpetrator in the case. So we're asking the court to order those.
Is there any objection, Ms. Stevenson?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
And these are the orders.
They already run it. I would ask for purposes of placing them in the record, if we wrote social security numbers and date of births on it just for the providers, if we could have those redacted before they're placed in the record.
Okay. So the clerk, after you send this out, white out those, before you put it in the file, white out those numbers. So those will be signed. Anything else on this matter?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Ms. Spicer, your next court date will be November 7th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Usually at the pre-trial, when it comes up, it's going to be non-active, really. It's just where if there's any more discovery, or one of them's having a problem getting records from the other one, or somebody's been hard to get along with, that the judge will address that with an order from the specific lawyer and so forth. But really what will go on from here on out is just willing and dealing to see if they can come up with a plea agreement. And but like Sheila says, we're going to try to be there.
I thought it was interesting they asked for the school records.
Well, the school records, and yeah, and that's
And
probably what Josh tried to tell us.
Yeah.
They're going to try to well, the school records may also display
Debunk
what
it.
kind of complaints they've had against the parents, or it could be where he's saying what he told us about
That's what I was
Jayden.
saying, yeah.
It could be to prove that wrong, or it could
Right.
be to try to act like he was hard to get along with, or he done this, or it doesn't matter what he done. You
Right.
can't go kill a child.
Exactly.
So let's go on to him now.
That's all I have today, Judge, if I may be excused.
Yes, Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Just stand by, guys. They're going to bring
Joshua.
Josh in. Yeah, Joshua
Joshua.
Gross. And once again, thank Court TV for their coverage, for having the camera, or at least getting the
Who's
footage
next,
that
Terry
we've
County?
got. Make sure you put your fair use thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming in, guys. Here he is.
There he is.
Sir, would you say something for the record?
Josh Gross.
Okay.
Josh.
Court calls the case of Commonwealth versus Joshua Gross, 25 CR 56. Mr. Gross, you are here for an arraignment. I need to advise you that you have the following rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, which it's my understanding you have already retained one. You have a right to a trial by jury where the Commonwealth has to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, the right to produce your own witnesses, and the right to appeal. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. O'Neill, you're standing in for Mr. Harold, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. He's retained, Mr. Harold.
Okay, and are you waiving formal arraignment?
Yes, Mr. Harold advised that he's reviewed the indictment of Mr. Gross, and we have sent any further formal arraignment and asked for a pretrial on the same day that you scheduled previous defendant.
Okay, so Mr. Gross, I'll enter a plea of not guilty, and we'll set your case for a pretrial on November 7th at 10 a.m. along with your co-defendant. Is there anything else we need to do on Mr. Gross's cases?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so Mr. Gross, we'll see you then, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Guys, this is a interesting case, and it reminds Sheila and I every time we see a lot of these cases. But there's another case that Sheila and I have been pursuing, and in the end result, one day we may see this same scenario. You never know. And that's why Sheila and I, we were talking on the way up there before we talked to Felicia and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Before we ever talked to them, we put out on a live that we did that where two or more are involved, one of them will talk. It's just a matter of getting them in the right position, the right place with the right investigator. And that's, we're thinking that that's the same way in our other case. There's another case we're working on where we think that two or more people are involved. Go ahead,
Right,
Sheila, speak
right.
up anytime. But
No, I agree with you.
we believe that, and or at least as a possibility, our opinion, and we're not even going to mention any names, but we believe that at least two people know what happened, and all it takes is one of them to talk, one of them to come forward and say, hey, I've got to look out for myself. I've got to take care of myself. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison or on death row. It's just according to what prosecutors, what come down and how it came about. Was it an accident or was it malicious? Was it intentional? Was it premeditated? You got different categories that equal a different punishment, from the death penalty to life in prison to anything else, to a year on probation. It's just according. Why is one of these charged with murder and the other one complicity, conspiracy to commit murder? How did this come about? After Sheila and I talked to Josh and Felicia that day, they went straight. When we returned back the second time, they left.
Yeah.
And after that, the ball was rolling to where Felicia told them where the body was, or showed them, one or the other. And then you've got these starting to get these charges. Guys, don't let this be you. Don't let this always be the first person to take the deal. Don't wait around and think, well, this one will never talk or that one will never talk, because they will. In the right position with the right interrogator, the right investigator, they will talk. And when they do, you're left out in the cold. You're left with nothing to deal with. You're going to take the blunt of the punishment. And like Sheila and I talked on this video that she's got coming up on where we went to Tennessee, sometimes you may, like that old saying with Whoopi Goldberg, not one of my favorite people anymore, but where she's in that movie
Ghost. Yep.
Yeah, you're in
Girl,
trouble, girl.
You're in danger.
Yeah, girl, you're in danger. And think about that, because if there's two involved, one of you may be in danger, not only from being left holding a bag, but what if the other one gets afraid, gets scared that you're going to go before they do, that you're going to squeal before they do, and they're trusting you not to, and then they say, well, shucks, I've got to do something to make sure that person never talks. And then if they've already offed one person or one child, would that really bother them to off another one? Or if they've covered up for one, would it bother them to cover up for another one? I don't believe it would, guys. I've seen it. I've got experience. I've seen it happen. I've worked cases where these same scenarios came true. Don't be that person left DOA or left in prison when you can be the one to go ahead and own it, make amends, make it right, and be out there in a couple of years.
Yep.
If that's the scenario of that case. Again,
Exactly.
Sheila and I don't know no more than anybody else.
That's right.
We do know from working previous cases, previous histories of things that go on. This is the majority of how they turn out, where the parents or step-parents are involved in some manner.
Yeah.
Sad, but true. Thanks, guys. That's an update on Felicia.
Felicia and Josh Gross on the Jayden Spicer case.
Okay. Thank you, baby.
All right, thanks. Please
welcome.
like, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye. God bless.